Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Sex. Pastor, you're going to talk about what? It's too early in the morning. Sex. Welcome to church life. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. Paul said, "Now for matters you wrote about. It is good for a man not to marry, but since there's so much immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. In the same way, the husband's body does not belong to him alone, but also to his wife. Do not deprive each other except by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourself to prayer, then come again together, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control." Now, Paul is basically saying is, men and women, get married, have sex. Don't deprive each other. Fulfill your marital duties to each other. Now, forgive me if we get a little personal here for a moment, but it's kind of hard to fulfill your marital duty to your wife when you're in Saudi and she's in Marikina. It's kind of hard to fulfill your marital duty to your husband when you're in Hong Kong or Singapore and he's in Laguna and Cavite. So much immorality takes place, so many broken homes, so many problems, and they say, "Oh, I'm an OCW and an overseas worker, and my spouse has not been faithful." Well, forgive me, you also were not faithful to them. Now, since the day this thing began 25 years ago with overseas workers, you know me, I'm strongly against it. When we get married, we live together. And one of the reasons we live together is that we fulfill our marital duty with each other so that we're not tempted. Now, one of the secrets to a happy marriage is a good sex life. And one of the secrets to a good sex life is you live together and you fulfill your marital duties to one another. So let me challenge you today. Don't try to live separate. Let me say that again. Don't try to live separate. Paul says Satan will tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Don't try to live separate. Live together, have a good sex life, and you're going to find it's really easy to live a holy life.